Hey, what up, y'all? It's the girl Ashley. I be ballin' basketball show, and we're gonna do, a little recap about the Pacers and Bucks series. It ended in a crazy way, y'all, and we're gonna talk about what's next for Giannis and the Bucks. And joining me, I have Jonathan Harvey in the building.
In the building. What's good? What's good?
What up? What up? So the Pacers Bucks series it was been intense. They definitely don't, like each other. Big rivalry. And man, I really thought we were gonna win that game.
Oh my God.
Game five, because we got off to a great lead, in the first quarter. And still, we still found a way, in the fourth quarter to be up, you know. But then we, we made some mistakes and let them tie it up, you know.
Crucial,
We wasn't
crucial.
able to do the game winner. So overtime we went, you know. Then Gary Trent goes, crazy again with his threes. We up. I'm still thinking we gonna win this game. But somehow we turn the ball over and simple stuff like inbounding the ball, waiting to get fouled, and they let Tyrese Haliburton go to his right every time, getting layups. I'm like, come on, guys, how we gonna lose in this fashion, man? Because I was like, man, the Bucks really showing a lot of heart, trying to win for Dame, but it didn't work. It didn't work, and I felt like that game is a representation of the whole Bucks season. You know, it's like, you have a little bit of hope and then, you know, but we gonna talk about, why the Bucks lost this series, why the Pacers won this series. I feel like the Pacers won because they're they're more paired, disciplined. Their coach Rick Carlisle. I'll say this again. If you switch coaches and we had Rick and they had Doc, it would be a different result. I feel like, by the timeouts, the Pacers executed, but when we called timeouts, I'd be like, y'all just had a timeout and then y'all make a turnover. And I'm like, I blame Doc. I'm not giving him all the blame in the blame pie, but I think that was the main difference. And obviously, the Pacers, they run and gun. You know, a lot of times when the Bucks would score, they would score like right away. They getting transition. And I feel like, yo, Bucks, y'all need to get in transition too. Y'all need to play fast too. And obviously, they got more speed and athleticism than us. And that's why I'm like, Doc, why don't you play the young guys? This is the series to do it. Play the youth that, can keep up. But yeah, his rotations are very questionable. But what I want to ask you is, why do you think the Bucks lost this series? And especially game, we gonna talk about the ending too. The ending was wild too, not just like the shocking result of the game, but afterwards it was a big crowd. Halliburton was bad, was waving the towel with his son's face on it, and now he can't come to Pacers games, and the Pacers are the ones that banned him. The league didn't do it, but we're going to talk about that too. But first, what do you think was the reason we lost? And it could be multiple reasons, or it could just be the Pacers, better coach, better team. What do you think?
Well, this may seem blunt, Ashley. I feel like one of the reasons we lost because of Kyle Kuzma. Hey, yeah, like on the other podcast I'm on, Time Out with Jeff. Um, his best friend who comes on the show sometimes. You know what I'm saying? We talk about football. You know what I'm saying? We talk all sports, but mainly, you know what I'm saying, it's football. And when we, oh yeah, and basketball too, of course. And his friends has this quote about a player, and he'd be like, he's stealing money. And that's what I said on the podcast, on that podcast Tuesday, because again, the game came on Tuesday. And I was just going ham about that game because I was unable to watch the game because I was at work, but I was looking at it on my phone through the box score. And I noticed that Doc had switched up the lineup. He had Giannis, Portis, Gary Trent Jr., Kevin Porter Jr., and AJ Green starting. I'm like, oh, okay. When I saw it, they was beating them 11-0. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
And then at one point it was like damn near it was 15-3. Then it was like 30 to like 13. And then at one point it was
Mm-hmm.
40 to 28. I'm like, oh hell yeah. But then, like I said, I can't judge the game because I ain't watch it. But at halftime it was 47-41. I'm like, what are y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so yeah, so well now I'm just talking about the game now. So then they going back and forth. I'm like, damn. Hey, look, I'm at work. I look at my phone. Like, damn. You know. So, um, and then they were up by a little bit. Then something happened. It's tied up, and that was overtime. And then I
Yeah.
think they went up a little bit by like two or three, and then out of nowhere they were just they were up by like three. Then I'm talking about the Bucks. They were up by like three. Then they were up by six. Then they were up by seven, I think, or something. It was something. And then it was like 40 seconds. I'm like, oh yeah, man, we got it. Then I look at my phone again, another score by Indiana. Then another score by Indiana. I'm like, what's going on? And then the Bucks are up by one. I'm like, oh no, what are y'all doing? And then when I was getting ready to leave work, it went up two more points, 118 to 119. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, I'm telling my coworker, he like, I told you Giannis ain't, I'm like, it wasn't Giannis' fault. It's never Giannis' fault. And now I got to hear this bull crap all summer. We're already hearing it. Where do you think Giannis should play? Where do you think Giannis fits in? Where do you think everybody wants this man to leave Milwaukee?
Yep.
Everybody wants this man to leave Milwaukee, bro. They want him to
Everybody.
leave. They wanted him to leave before we won the chip, and they wanted him to leave after.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, that reporter Brian Warehouse was salty because he made a prediction saying that he was going to leave Milwaukee, and then when it was reported that he was going to sign that extension that he had just signed, he wasn't going to do it until the summertime. But then he signed it before the season started. Brian Warehouse was like, "Well, he said that he was going to sign during the summer." Until you here's the thing about people that work in sports, as far as like reporters and they, what I'm saying? They assume and they predict. They never know half the time. The majority of the time. Well, let me say that.
Yeah.
Because Stephen A. Smith always says they ain't never wanted to play in Milwaukee. How the hell do you know? You mean to tell me you want to play for the Heat? Who do they have? All you got is guards, to be honest with you. Like, bro. So, yeah, like, of course, Miami's gorgeous. I would love to have a house in Miami. But actually play for the Heat? Hell, Garnett said that. Like, don't know I want to play under Pat Riley. You know what I'm saying? So they just assume until they talk to the actual person, then be quiet. Well, anywho, so now we got to hear all this Giannis. Giannis gonna leave. Watch, he gonna go to Dallas. He gonna go to L.A. Him and Luka gonna team up. He gonna go to San Antonio. He gonna go to Brooklyn. He gonna go to Miami. He gonna go to Indiana. He gonna go to Detroit. He gonna go to OKC. He gonna. I'm like, y'all just giving out random ass teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, but yeah, man, that game was freaking heartbreaking. And then I didn't know what happened. with the mistakes until I saw the it's an actual like highlights. Well, when I went on the podcast, I still didn't see the highlights. The host of the podcast told me that Gary Trent lost the ball on an easy pass that he could have caught. I was
Yeah,
like, but then I asked him, like, was it a pass that it looked like he could catch? And he was like, yeah.
yeah, he had like two bad turnovers.
Yeah, yeah, at the very last minute. And it sucks because he had over 30 points again. And
Yeah,
that 30 points went out the damn window, to be honest with you. Because you can't make turnovers in that high stake type of environment. Like, you just can't. But you could blame, in this game, you can't blame really, well, I say 20% is on Doc. I blame Kyle Kuzma all through the damn season, all through the damn playoffs. All through the damn playoffs. You're supposed to be the third wheel. You only got 3 points in game, what, four?
yeah,
Bruh. Bruh. That was a horrible trade. We should just kept Middleton. No,
exactly.
even though
I
Middleton was
mean,
hurt too, but shit, I mean, and it pissed me off when Kendrick and Stephen A was like, oh yeah, Kyle Kuzma is another Middleton. There is no way in hell Chris Middleton would only have 3 point game. I mean, 3 points in a playoff game. No way in hell.
yeah,
No
yeah,
way in hell.
yeah.
Like I said earlier, on the podcast, when the podcast best friend, if you see a good player but he ain't doing nothing, he's stealing money. That's what Kyle Kuzma doing. He's stealing money. He's stealing money.
We gotta get out of his contract, like 23 million.
Man,
Yeah,
man, trade that man this summer. Trade that man this summer. But the problem is who wants him?
yeah,
Because man, he is trash. I see why the Lakers will let him. Hey, you know what's crazy? People get exposed when they come here. First, it was Eric Bledsoe. He was begging himself to get out of Phoenix, get me out of here. Woo, woo. We gave him a shot here. Trash. Trade him to New Orleans for Drew Holiday. Went down there to New Orleans. Trash. Then he went back to the Clippers. Trash. Then I didn't see him anymore until I went on YouTube. He playing overseas.
mm-hmm, yeah,
And I tried to tell that girl, what's her name, K.I.D, about it a while back. He like, well, he's known for deep. Well, he can play defense. He got a score too. Like, bro, you just can't hold defense. You got to score too, especially if you're the third option.
yeah.
So yeah, so yeah, like, bro, you
With
got to score. I said,
with
what?
Kuz,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. No, I'm saying like players get exposed here. Look at Kyle Kuzma. You ain't in Washington, bro. We trying to contend. We trying to contend for a championship, and that's another thing. I found out he could have left the Wizards last year and go to Dallas, but he didn't want to go to Dallas. And from what I heard, do you know why he didn't want to go to Dallas? Because he wanted to play for a contender. How are you going to play for how are you going to say you want to play for a contender when you don't even want to contend?
he
Yeah.
showed he ain't ready.
But you already got him. But hey, you see why LA let him go, or else? Come on now. Do you think the Lakers would have let him go for real?
He don't got it.
Yeah, yeah. He trash,
And
trash.
Doc was like, oh, we gotta put him in a
Man, he
better
lying.
position.
He probably should
Like,
have said like, damn man, we got another Ben Simmons. But to his defense, at least Ben Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma wasn't afraid. Well, to me, Kyle Kuzma ain't afraid to shoot. Ben Simmons was, but Kyle Kuzma just didn't do nothing. Like I
yeah, I
said,
mean, I I rather have Chris Middleton on one leg because Chris
man,
Middleton
for
on
real.
one leg last year, he was killing the
Yeah,
Pacers
yeah,
on one leg. I would
yeah,
have rather had that,
yeah,
than
yeah, man.
what
We
Kuzma
don't have that
did.
on. We don't have that on our team, bro. Like no. That's why I
Yeah,
was hoping that we would have got De'Aaron Fox, but even though he got hurt, but man, imagine if we would have got De'Aaron Fox. I wanted De'Aaron Fox. I didn't
and
want
we
no
ain't got enough for him.
because again, I didn't want Kyle Kuzma. I did not want him. I'm like, damn. But I'm like, you know what? Let me give him a chance. Trash.
He's not consistent, you know.
No, he's trash. Forget the consent. He trash. There is no way you can make all that money and only have 3 points in the playoff game. Not
Yeah,
gonna happen. Kyle Kuzma is trash. Trash. He got exposed. He got exposed.
yeah,
We exposed that dude. We exposed
yeah.
that dude. So yeah, so
Well,
no, I want Kyle Kuzma gone. Give
yeah,
resign, resign Bobby. I don't know what Brooke gonna do. Um, re- resign Gary Trent. I loved him. He just made them two mistakes. Now Kevin Porter, he should be well, of course, making Giannis happy. Well, making sure Giannis don't leave is the main priority overall.
yeah,
But give Kevin Porter Jr. a multi-year deal, man. He acted a fool. Matter of fact, I feel like besides that Luka trade, man, I feel like we had the best trade because who?
yeah. We definitely got to steal with KPG and
Yeah,
Chris
yeah, because who?
Marjan. We got Jericho
Because
Sims.
honestly, if you want to be completely honest, he was the main reason that we were winning during the season
Yeah, yeah,
because Kyle Kuzma wasn't doing it.
yeah. The Kuzma trade makes me upset. It don't like Middleton. I guess like you had to like get sort of turn the page on the 2021 team, but we got rid of a young player named AJ Johnson,
Oh
and
my
I think
God!
he
Like,
has
why do
the
we have to give him
potential
a?
to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
a Fox.
yeah, yeah,
He has
man.
the
Like,
potential to
I
be
don't know
a
why we traded him, man. I'm like, why they get rid of him? I liked him. Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know. I
because
don't
he
know.
got confidence.
He
He
young,
got the
man. He
speed
athletic,
and
man. Man,
athleticism.
like I said, I don't know. I don't know why they. I would have traded the other guy. What's his name? Smith. I would have traded him instead of Johnson.
Yeah, I would have too.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, like, yeah, man.
I would have even traded Smith and Ajax.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
I know. They just didn't do much. I don't think he played in the playoffs.
who?
Ajax.
Yeah, and I feel like Doc should have like let him play here and there to guard, Tyrese
I'm still,
Haliburton,
I'm still trying to figure out how come he didn't play Connaughton all year.
he was in the doghouse, and then
Why?
a lot of people started saying, "Hey, play him because he exploded for like 43 points in the last game."
But that was, I mean, that's
I
another
think
reason. Matter of fact, Doc, the only starter he played was Kyle Kuzma. All the other stars didn't even play.
the
Ain't that
problem
crazy?
is he should have benched Torian Prince, Kyle
Yeah,
Kuzma, and Brooke Lopez from the beginning.
yeah, 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 yeah.
He
Because
waited
Brooke,
that
yeah,
that starting five that was
last
in
minute.
game five.
Yeah,
That's who should have been starting the entire time.
yeah,
But
man.
no, Doc waited too late to do it.
And honestly, I don't want to. If Brooke came back, I wouldn't be mad. But I just feel like he doesn't. Brooke Lopez doesn't put any effort, in my opinion, because he didn't do much in this series either. He did a little, but now I need to kind of look. I don't need to look past it, but I can say he's older. But I feel like he has that mentality where I'm 7-1, I don't have to jump. I don't have to do anything. So I wouldn't care if he left. Of course, I'll be sad if he left. But if we can get somebody else for him, or just get somebody younger, a big body, and
We
that pain.
need a mobile center that
Yeah,
can
yeah,
move, that
yeah,
got
yeah. He is
agility
not
and
mobile.
athleticism.
He is a trailer. He is not mobile. He is a trailer. So yeah. Like I hate to see him leave, but yeah, I want Brooke gone.
If we resign him on like a 1 year deal
I'm cool
and
with that.
say, hey, you got to be the backup, you're not a starter anymore, then yeah, fine. But if you're paying him, a ton of money to be a starter, well,
Yeah,
that's out of the question.
yeah,
And so he still can block shots, he still can make some threes, but He needs to be inside the paint too, and I
Yeah, yeah,
feel like we don't
exactly. How are you
utilize
the
him.
tallest? He is the majority of tallest man on the floor every night, damn near. Because there's hardly any 7'1" centers anymore. So stay in the paint. Like, bro, you can average 20, like 15 and 10 or 20 and 10, probably. If you just stay your big behind in the paint. Forget them threes. Dunk on somebody. But again, he got the mentality where I don't have to jump, man. No, jump. You get over everybody. But like I said, in his defense, I know he's older. But at the same time, come on, bro. But because again, that lineup,
37.
yeah, but that lineup they had game five was dope. Because again, when I saw the box score, I'm like, oh,
That
wow, okay.
that was the lineup that helped us win 8 games in a row to end the season. And
Really?
I'm
No,
like, Doc,
I thought no, because Kyle Kuzma and Brook played them games.
no, I'm saying like in game 5, the starters,
Yeah,
those are the that it was like the bench mob. I'm not saying they started. I'm saying like, you know, when the starters played, bad and we, was getting
yeah,
blown
yeah,
out,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that group,
Oh, I see what
came,
you're saying now. I see what you're
yeah,
saying.
that crew was like a bench mob that helped get us, those games, get
Yeah,
back into those games, like the Timberwolves game.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Um, so I thought Doc was gonna use that lineup more, but he didn't. And I'm like, come on, Doc, you can't be this clueless.
Man, I be.
Because I'm like, come on, Doc, you're supposed to play that lineup.
Yeah,
But
but so yeah, but here we go, another long all season, another season. We got to hear where's Giannis gonna play. I feel like he should play in Miami. I feel like he should play in New York. I feel like he should play in Dallas. Hey, the
it's
host
the
of the podcast.
NBA. The
Um,
NBA, they mad that Giannis stayed in Milwaukee and keep staying in
yeah,
Milwaukee.
yeah,
And then
exactly.
they mad because we got another 75 top player in Dame, and it sucks that Dame got hurt because
Yeah,
it's
I
like
know.
now this, it puts a damper on next season because it's almost like next season it really should be like get as much youth and athleticism as you can and develop them because we're not gonna go for a championship this year. So the team is gonna have to say, Giannis, here's the plan. We can't contend next year, but the following year. Because I feel like
But here's
this
the
is how it's
thing.
gonna be. Huh?
But he got to be cool with that though, and I don't think he will be.
Yeah,
Because,
it's all about
because I feel like as long as we have him on the team, we will always be a contender anyway.
yeah, so some people are saying we need to trade Giannis because we don't want to waste his prime years with the Bucks. And some people are like, you don't trade a Giannis type
You do not
franchise
credit.
player.
You do
We're
not.
not Nico Harrison with
Hell no, they did Luca so dirty,
um
man. I don't, but hey, they ain't got nothing to do with us. But at the same time, like no, because you don't trade a Joker, you don't trade Giannis. Like
not
no,
Giannis. I feel like Giannis is gonna stay because there's like a quote of him saying they're gonna have to force me out. They're gonna have to kick me out. Did you see that quote?
I think I saw that, and that's dope, man. But I hope they don't do that. But yeah, I don't think they will.
But yeah, I feel like, but yeah, they still got to come up with a plan though. Because I
That's
feel
when,
like,
but that's when communication is key. You have a sit down, have
yeah,
dinner, be like, what can we do? What can we do to win this chip again? But man, we should have won this. We should have won it this year because I feel like we would have won the championship without Dame. It
out
would have
there,
been it would have been harder, but come on, man, we should have beat Indiana. You know that
yeah, I feel like we definitely are the better team than Indiana, but we're not a better, you know, you know,
athletical team.
coach team.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, athletic team too.
If
Oh
if
yeah,
Doc played our young players like Ajax and Jericho Sims, and even Pat, I would have played Pat over Kuz and Prince and Lopez. If you play the right players and have the rotations and lineups, yeah, you could have beat them. But Doc is so slow to make adjustments, you know. And I heard this is what I heard. I heard Doc all season was canceling practices and meetings. So no wonder we look unprepared. Our the offense is just freestyling and randomness and just ISO play. And I feel like he just says, yo, just give the ball to Giannis. Where's the plays? Where's the X's and O's? And what type of identity we have? Are we a defensive team? Is it offense? At least with Griffin, we were like a top offensive team. And
But
I'm just like, come on, Doc. This is not 2008 anymore. You know, we
yeah,
gotta keep up with the times, guys. Like, come on.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
feel like Doc is just I feel
But
like he
this
just
last,
wants to go play golf.
but honestly, this last game I can't completely put on Doc.
Yeah, I mean the
You
players definitely
can, you can, but you can't.
the
Because
players
again,
definitely made
yeah,
mistakes.
there you go. There you
They
go.
should have just hold on to the ball. It's almost like they didn't want the ball. All you had to do was hold on to the ball and let them foul you. But Indiana, they wasn't fouling right away, so then they panicked. They panicked like, oh, you, there wasn't fouling us right away, so they panicked and they kept passing the ball. AJ Green passed the ball and went through, Trent's legs, and then they trapped Gary Trent at like the baseline, and then he passed it to Pacers. So it's almost like I feel like they were just panicking, really. And I feel like an NBA team should know how to handle a press and how to handle, you know, inbounding the ball in certain in-game situations. But I do think, like you said, game 6 wasn't Doc's fault. Well, I mean, game 5 wasn't
Yeah.
Doc's fault. But I do feel like waiting so late to play this lineup,
Oh yeah, there you go.
that was his fault. But also, not having Dame in game 5 hurt us because, that's usually the guard that you pass the ball to in those situations to get fouled. So, Trent and Green, they're not point guards. So it's like,
Exactly.
I understand why they kind of like fumbled it. But at the same time, I'm like, y'all, we just kept making the same mistakes, leaving a 3-point shooter open constantly. And we kept letting Tyrese Haliburton get layups. He wasn't shooting jumpers on us. He was just, it
Take
didn't
him to the
matter if
rock.
it was Giannis or Trent or Green. He would just drive to the lane on the right side. I was like, make him go the opposite way. Make him go left or force him to shoot a jumper or take the ball out of his hands. Why are we just letting it was like he scored 6 or 7 points straight, just with straight layups. I'm like, guys, what are we doing? And then the Pacers kept making threes, like on the short corner threes. I'm like, come on, guys, what are we doing? We supposed to be playing tomorrow in game 6. Like
Yeah.
we supposed to be doing that. The Bucks future, it's looking because even with the Dame injury, you know, it's like, dang, now we gotta find, who's gonna be the backup point guard and the primary point guard. Because it's like we have a lot of free agents, but we don't have a lot of money. And I would like to keep Gary Trent Jr., but I feel like somebody gonna give him a big offer because he was balling for us in the playoffs. Game 2, he was balling. No,
Game
it was
time.
no, it was game 3, I think. And so, but we also need to re-sign, KPJ, Kevin Porter Jr., because he has a lot of potential, He can he got mid-range going, he can um really handle the ball, and he does have to work on turnovers, but you know, we haven't had a guard like him that can, get to the rim like that. But Jericho Sims, AJ Green. So we have a lot of decisions to make,
Yeah.
and now that Dame's out, it's like, dang. And then how will, like, what's the future? Like, is he going to return to be that Dame time player for us? Or is he going to, not be the same player, he's 34. It's not, that's not a good age to get no Achilles injury, but feel like Dame can come back the same depending on how he attacks it. But also, like, even if, because right now he's our second option. So Giannis is our first, Dame is our second. If he comes back and he's not the same, maybe he can be our third option. And then we got to find another second option. I don't know. So the future is like murky because we don't even got a lot of picks, because I would say, let's just be bad for a year, get in the lottery the next year, and then, come back stronger. I could say that, but we don't own our pick. So, you know, being a losing team, that's not going to work either. So it's going to be tricky. Um, they're going to have to come up with a plan to convince Giannis. I feel like he's leaving, but you still want a solid plan. You don't want to be complacent.
Yeah.
But yeah, like things were already going to be tough. But now we have Dame who's making a ton of money and he ain't playing. And we ain't got picks and players. I feel like it could end up sort of like what the Warriors did because the Warriors, before they won in 2022, they had some down years where they had to be in the lottery for a couple of years, and Curry still stayed, and then they won, in 2022, and now they got Jimmy Butler competing for another chip. So, things can turn around. You got to hold on to hope, in order to cope, that would be dope. Nah, but there's still hope. Like it's not bleak, but it's not gonna be easy. John Horse, you gonna because John Horse got an extinction, right? And I'm like, why did he get an extinction and the season didn't even end? So I'm like, John Horse, you got a lot to prove. Cause like I do like John Horse, but I just hope he can make some good decisions and work some miracles. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he will. But I don't want to because he's a good GM. He does. Again, man, we should not trade. Man, we should not trade for Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah.
Man, but yeah, he got a long summer
Yep. You better be thinking of stuff right now. Right
right now.
now. You
Like
gotta
you.
come up with something.
I don't care if he has to have Giannis with him in the office. He got to like do something.
It's like Pat Connaughton, he got a player option and he's gonna accept it because that's 9 million right there. Bobby Porter's got a player option. So I don't know if Bobby will accept it or decline it for a long-term deal. I don't know. Brooke is a free agent. I don't want to resign him unless it's very cheap.
Yeah,
And like,
5 million.
okay, like you're not playing 30 minutes anymore. Like those days are over.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, it's gonna be tough. But so do you want to talk about that Halliburton that situation? I definitely think that, you can't have like fans or parents coming up to players if it's their own players, like if he did that to, his son or Pacers players, okay, but taunting and cussing at Giannis and waving the flag, like Giannis said, be humble in victory, right? But
Yeah,
also, it's like, why, you know,
yeah.
Giannis could have punched him,
Man,
Giannis could have hurt him.
Giannis could have choked some that ball headed person, whoever that you know what I'm saying. Man, dude. This is so mean, Ashley. Man, he like just like he just looked weird. He look it like he didn't age all that well.
Yeah, for sure, because
Man,
it's Haliburton's dad, right? But it
yeah.
really looked like Haliburton's grandpa or something.
Exactly,
Like,
exactly. So I'm
like, is that
like,
your
bro,
dad
yeah, or your granddad,
or
like,
your
bro,
grandpa?
man, yeah, yeah, and I feel like his dad was drinking too. So because
Probably.
yeah, yeah, so he lucky because again, well, I don't know if you saw what Shaq and Kenny and Charles said on TNT.
Yeah, yeah, I
Man,
saw. Yeah,
Shaq is dead wrong. You know for a fact nobody came up to your face and waved anything at you and said and started cussing you out. Stop it, Shaq. Stop it.
yeah. He said it's a part of the game, and I'm
No, it's
like,
not.
no,
No,
it's
it's
not.
not. No, it's not, bro. Stop. I love Shaq, but he be wrong. Stop.
Malice in the Palace could have started. Malice in the
Exactly.
Palace could have started.
It almost did because the one dude tried to fight Giannis. I'm like, bro, like y'all, it's a rivalry now. It's more
Yeah,
personal,
for
dude.
sure.
So, but yeah, he was wrong for doing that. I'm glad the league said something because look, found I found out on first take, people have been complaining about him. This ain't the first time he's been doing this, but
Yeah,
now he got caught on camera now.
right.
So yeah, yeah, yeah. Take his drunk, you know what, out. No, and again, the focus didn't even focus on the Indian Pacers. It was on his daddy.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't even like Tyrese Haliburton got a game winner. Like, no,
Oh
it wasn't even about that.
no, it was about
Um,
man. Yeah, yeah, man. Like he got. They all had to hunt. I mean, Halliburton talk mess. So you see where he get it from,
yeah.
man. Matter of fact, you probably didn't notice. I don't think I told you this. Tim Hardaway Senior wanted to beat up Halliburton.
Yeah, yeah. I heard they got a little something going on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because he chirped too much. But now he got every right to do it because he won. But at the same time, I'm telling you, Charles Barkley said this. If Halliburton Daddy would have did that to Darius Garland or Draymond Green, well, what do you think of what would have happened? Exactly.
I'm bad.
Yeah, yeah, something terrible. Draymond Green.
Yeah.
Yeah, like bro,
And
like
like Giannis could have did something to the dad because the series over.
yeah,
It's all
exactly.
over with. Like,
Yeah, I think you said you had the you know what to come up to a man who's 6'11", 250, all muscle. No ounce of fat on that dude. And you had there to come up to him like man, come on, bro. So yeah,
yeah,
man. So, but I'm glad that the league did something about. Wait, it was either the
it was the
or
Pacers. Because
well
if
again, yeah, because again, yeah. First, John said he didn't know who that dude was. He thought it was a fan. He looked like a fan. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. So like, we don't know if that dude had a gun, a knife, no nothing. And then
yeah,
And then my guy had sent me a video from TMJ4 of him saying that he wasn't saying nothing to him. I'm like, stop, bro. We saw you on camera moving your damn mouth.
yeah.
And
First he
again, you was
apologized on
yeah, yeah,
Twitter.
yeah, yeah,
Then he
yeah.
went back and said like, the opposite of what Giannis said.
Exactly. So let's stop lying, bro. You was drunk. Again, your son made a game winning thing. Congrats, bro. But you stole that moment from your son by getting up in an opponent player's face after the game was over.
Yeah.
For what? For what? Y'all
I don't
won.
know, brag. I don't know. I
He
don't
is
know. And like
lucky.
you didn't
Matter of
do
fact,
nothing. Like
matter of fact, Ashley, if he would have watched the Charles Barkley or Shaq doing that, you mean to tell me they wouldn't have did anything?
Shaq
Come
would have
on,
did
bro.
something
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly. Exactly. So come
So I
on.
don't know why Shaq was tripping.
Yeah, you talk about some look, man. No, it's not, but because they ain't nobody, ain't no parent ever walk up to you. They ain't that dumb. You Shaq. So come on, bro.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That man walked up to Giannis talking mess with a damn towel with his son, saying like yeah, F you, we did it, the damn thing. You ain't, you know what? Know your
Like,
role
bro,
and
you
shut
didn't
your
win
mouth.
no
Like,
championship. You won a
man,
first
man,
round
a
series.
first round series, bro. And guess what? Y'all about to go home in the second round against Cleveland. Y'all might get swept.
Exactly. The
They
guy's
might get
about
swept.
to win that.
I said at the most 5 games.
Yeah, because I feel like, you know, I feel like the Pacers are a good team, but I feel like with Bucks make the Pacers look like they're Chicago Bulls or something. Like, I feel like the Pacers are a good team, but I feel like the Bucks make them look better than they are.
They
Yes.
do.
Um, but yeah, I'd be like, Doc, we played them for 2 years now. You ain't got a plan yet. Come on, man. We played them twice in the playoffs, a lot of times in regular season. You ain't got a plan yet. I feel like we make the Pacers look like they're a championship contender when really they're not. And so I feel like the Cavs are gonna show, they're gonna expose some Pacers weaknesses. But
Mm-hmm.
credit to the Pacers. I do credit Tyrese because he did say his dad was in the wrong,
Oh yeah.
and
Well, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Because again, he could be like, my dad didn't do anything wrong. I'm like, oh Lord, you, mm. Yeah.
And it's crazy because a lot of the it was a like poll and they were talking about overrated, like he's the most overrated player, and they was asking NBA players, but it was anonymous, so I don't get why they even do those polls. But yeah,
I don't know. Who knows?
who
I
knows?
mean, he's a good player. I'm not saying he trash or anything like he could
Oh
ball.
yeah, he's a good player. I just think the
The
fact that he
attitude
trash talks, it's not a good look for
on
him.
him, on him.
Yeah, like if Ant Man trash talks, is a better look for Ant Man because like Ant Man, he's like a franchise player, right? And I don't feel like Tyrese is a franchise player. He's more like a second or third option on a contending team.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
not like a franchise player like a Giannis or a
yeah.
Jokic
Oh no.
or
Yeah,
Doncic.
yeah.
So so
So
I
yeah,
feel like, yeah, you chirp a lot, but really not on that level yet. But
ain't no championship ring on your pinky yet, bro.
and it's crazy because I want to like him because he's from Wisconsin,
Man, I don't
but
give a damn where you from. If you tell, I don't care if you go across the street from me. Like if you, I don't give a damn.
I
I
want
don't.
to like him. But
I mean, yeah, you do, but
all
at the
the
same
things,
time, like if you boneheaded like that, or hard headed like that, or just big headed like that, like I can't like I don't like Jordan Poole. Kevon Looney, he cool. Tyler Hero, I like him. You know, but
yeah,
yeah,
I
but yeah,
think,
like
yeah. Hallie just talks too much,
it does.
so it makes you dislike him. Like, why you
Yeah.
doing that? It don't even like it don't even fit him. Like like if Kobe talk trash, like yeah,
But he back it up though.
Kobe. But it's when when Tyrese does it, it don't look right. And like he's not that type of player.
Yeah, but I mean
And
he's
also
good.
some he don't even trash talk when he losing. It's
Hell
only when they
no.
winning.
Exactly. So yeah, I
But
mean, that's what you're supposed to do anyway. But it's just one
yeah,
of the things where I mean, like, hey man, congrats to the Pacers, but y'all got lucky as hell, freaking lucky.
yeah, for
So
sure.
so lucky.
So you talked about Pacers versus Bucks, who gets the blame pie. We talked about Haliburton's dad. We talked about a little bit about the future. You know, I definitely feel like we need 3-and-D wings. We need like playmakers. We need a mobile, athletic big. We need rebounders, because I feel like we definitely be tripping on those rebounds. Like
Yeah,
Giannis had like 20 rebounds last game or something.
yeah,
He's the main one that be rebounding,
yeah.
but
I
nobody
know,
be helping him.
And Brooke don't even be helping him like that no more.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, come on, bro. You're the
It's
tallest guy on the
7-1. Yeah,
court.
yeah, it's tallest dude on the floor. But that's why during that game 6 against Phoenix when we beat Phoenix, DeAndre Pat Connaughton had more rebounds than DeAndre Ayton, and he came off the bench. And you 7'7" and he only was 6'5", which is still tall, but it ain't 7'1" or 7 foot.
It's all about who wants it more.
Exactly. So like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
So
And
John Horst has a lot of thinking to do.
do not resign Prince. I don't like it when shooters shoot so great in the regular season.
At that playoff
40
time,
plus percent, 50 plus percent. Then in the playoffs, you scared to shoot. You be bricking up shots. I don't like that. Do not resign TP. Sorry, Prince. You gotta go. And I do like the young kid in Rollins. Hopefully we can keep him. But
if
we'll
he go.
see.
I don't care.
Yeah, he got a lot of potential. I do think like Doc should have gave him a chance and Ajax a chance too. And even Pat over what Kuz and Prince brought. But
Trash.
if you notice, Prince and Kuz, they're like 6'8", 6'9", you know, whereas our guards, they're like 6'5" or shorter. So I feel like maybe Doc wanted to play, Prince and Kuz because they are taller. But if you're not using your height, then what's the point?
Trash.
That's why I think we need more 3-and-D wings that, are at least 6'7" or taller, you know. But and of course you need shooters around Giannis all the time.
Yeah, yeah. And we had it kind of. So
And who knows, maybe we can get lucky because I feel like, with Garrison Jr., we got lucky. He's on a minimum contract. We got him on a minimum. And
yeah.
he did what he's supposed to do. He had a good year. And so he's probably
Until
trying to
game
bank
5.
on it.
Until game 5 with the turnovers.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's almost like, do they even practice, bro? I'd be like,
I don't know.
yo, in high school, before practice was over, we would run through how we gonna break a full court press, how we gonna do this, how we gonna do that on the out of bounds plays and all that. And I feel like some of the Bucks they lack fundamentals that you already supposed to know by now. You already supposed to know. And like Doc don't have no strategy, but let's play zone, guys. Let's play zone. Like that can't be your only strategy, guys. And you got Darvin Ham on the bench. You got another head coach from the Grizzlies on the bench, like Dave Yoger or something. And I'm like, what are the assistants doing? But yeah, I think we should fire Doc. But I wouldn't be mad if they don't fire Doc, only because I feel like next year is gonna be like a like unexpected year. You don't know what's gonna happen, honestly.
If we don't do anything next year, he's gone.
Yeah, they might just want to wait till his contract run out, maybe. Because maybe they don't want to fire another coach and have to pay another coach. So I don't know what they gonna do. The only thing Dak does right is he knows how to communicate with players. Players like him, and you do need to have a voice in the locker room for sure. But establishing an identity, coming up with plays and strategies, X's and O's, how to make in-game adjustments, and not just say, "Yeah, I got to look at the film." I got to look at the film. Uh, and I'm like, bro, you're the head coach. You're right there. How can you not see this? Oh, I got to look at the film. Like, bro, what if it's a game 7? You can't look at the film in game 7. You gotta know what adjustments need to be made. And I'm just like, I'm tired of all these coaches that can't make adjustments. I want a coach that got a higher IQ than me. If you ain't got a higher IQ than me, I don't want you as the coach, you know. But we'll see. Um, but I just feel like Doc, he's kind of overrated. I feel like he's had so many top players, but only one ring. Like when he won with Boston, like that's 4 Hall of Famers right there. You went to the Clippers, you had Chris Paul and Blake Griffin, and you also had James Harden and no,
Yeah,
not James. Oh yeah,
yeah,
he did have
yeah.
James Harden.
And to be,
Um, and Bede at the Sixers. Yeah, he even coached Paul George and Kawhi for a little bit.
yeah,
And I'm like, come on, man. Like, come on.
yeah.
So I feel like he's overrated. He, he's overrated to me. But he's doing something right because all these owners are paying him money. He's doing something right in these coaching interviews. I think one of the Bucks owners really like him. So who knows? But yeah, I don't know. It's so many questions for the Bucks future. But I really do feel like Giannis is staying. And when I see all these different uniforms on Giannis, I'm like, y'all crazy, bro. He doesn't like the limelight of LA and you know, and also like, bro, some of these teams don't even have anything the Bucks would even want anyway. So
Exactly.
like
If y'all
stop
ain't getting
with
every
all
All Star
these
player in,
trades.
I know. Like I saw a trade word about trading OKC. If y'all get up Shea or Brown because he's worth both of them, then leave me
Yeah,
alone.
like if you're not giving us, SGA, then what is the point? They
Exactly.
got a lot of picks. They have a lot of picks. That don't mean nothing, bro.
Yeah, yeah, man. Fuck that. We want Shea. If you want to do a trade with San Antonio, we want Victor and the De'Aaron Fox. Like we better get both of them because Giannis is worth both of them.
And people was like, "Oh, send him to the Rockets." Like, bro, the Rockets have nobody we want. You would have to give us,
Jalen
Alperen
Green.
Sengun.
Yeah, Ben Alvarez boom.
And
And
I
Jalen,
bet you're not gonna do it. So
yeah, exactly.
case closed. Like what?
Yeah, man. So
So it's like, yo, y'all dreaming. NBA, you cannot take Giannis away from Milwaukee.
yeah,
He's
man.
loyal. He got that in his DNA.
He is Sagittarius like me. We loyal. Well,
He's
most of
gonna
us.
be
Hey, hear me. Most of us, because I heard stories from other females that some Sagittarius ain't loyal. So but I'm telling you, like we're supposed to be loyal, but apparently it's something that's not. But me and him, we are loyal. So yeah,
he's
no, we're
he's
not.
gonna be one of those rare ones. rare
Yep.
ones like Kobe and Tim Duncan who stays, you know,
And Dirk.
for his whole career. And maybe he only wins, two. I feel like we're not gonna have to wait 50 years. We're not gonna have to wait another 50 years for a championship. I really do feel like there's gonna be another championship in Giannis's 30s. I just feel that way, you know. But you never know. Unexpected things happen. I didn't know that Luca was gonna get traded to LA. Unexpected things can happen. Crazier things have happened. So
No.
don't give up hope, Bucks fans. I know it looks bleak because it's like, man, we haven't even competed for a championship because we're always injured.
Hurt. Exactly. Exactly.
So it's like, dang, we always injured. So we haven't even gotten a chance to like contend. And even in 2021, we were injured. Dante
Those
DiVincenzo
hurt.
got injured in the first round. And
Mm.
then Giannis got injured with the Hawks, and we didn't know he was a freak of nature and he was going to come back like that.
Yeah.
Your
True.
knee not supposed to bend like that. I
Hey, I think I told you that one dude was like, he was like, Giannis went to Wakanda and got that vibranium and put it in the knee. Some of
and
that, some of that vibranium juice.
yeah,
Mhm.
he- he's a freak of nature. They don't call him Greek freak for nothing.
For real.
Any other player would have been out for the whole playoffs. He
Yeah.
come back, and I heard like they wanted him to wear a knee brace, and he was like, "Nah." I was like, "Man, that's brave."
Hmm.
But Giannis is one of those rare ones where I don't think he's just gonna go somewhere and chase a ring. Like, yeah, he loves to win and he wants to win, but he wants to win here in Milwaukee. He wants to win the right way. He don't want to just go from team to team. Because sometimes the grass ain't always greener. And also just because you take change teams, it don't guarantee a championship. A player could get injured over there,
Exactly.
where you trade him. So it's like I feel like he's gonna be here to stay, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
We just have to continue to make the right moves and we gotta get younger. I've been saying this from the beginning. We have to get younger because all the teams that are up and coming and winning
All
these,
young
yeah. So
and
we
athletic.
can't win with Brooke no more. This not 2021 no more. It's different. So
Hey, listen, I don't want to see Kuzma in a Bucks jersey next year. I'm not joking.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised because he didn't show us nothing.
Not a damn thing.
All he showed us was like you unpredictable. We don't know when you're gonna have a good game or not. So it's like you showed us you ain't ready. And you know, but we need dogs. We need athletic dogs that got that dog mentality. Like I feel like AJ, Trent, they got that dog mentality. KPJ, they got that dog mentality. I don't want none of these cats that's scared when it comes to the playoffs. I don't want nobody soft. I want some defensive rebounding guys. Give me some Dennis Rodmans. Give me
What you
some
said?
lethal shooters.
What you said? Man. Mhm.
Because you need that heart and hustle.
Yeah.
Because you don't want Giannis to be the only one hustling. Because I'd be like, dang, Giannis is coming out of nowhere and blocking
That's why I
shots
said
and
you never have to worry about Giannis. It's the others. It's always gonna be the others.
exactly, exactly. is there any closing thoughts you would like to say about
Kyle
the
Kuzma,
Bucks?
Kyle Kuzma better not be in a Bucks uniform next year. That's what I would keep saying. And
Yeah,
he's stealing money. Kyle Kuzma's stealing money.
a lot of these players are stealing money.
Yeah, but
A
he
lot of them. A
he
lot of
that
them are getting
he
overpaid,
that
to be
petty thief
honest.
though. He that petty thief though. Oh my God. I didn't think he would be this bad.
Man, but I feel like, he did try. He just not good.
I don't think he
He,
tried.
you don't think he tried? Oh,
3 point,
well.
really? 3 points? Come on now.
He wasn't even
Stealing,
supposed to be in the game. Blame
stealing
Doc
money.
for getting
Stealing money. Stealing money. He's
play
stealing our
somebody
money.
else, Doc. That's all
Mhm.
I gotta say.
Yeah. But yeah,
You could
he
have
got
played Pat. You could have played,
yeah.
because by game two, you know who's ready or not. Like
Yeah.
by game two, you know you can have a bad game one, but if you have another bad game two, it's like you ain't ready for the bright lights. Some people
Yeah.
ain't ready for the playoffs because
I
it's
mean,
more
but
physical.
you would think that because he won championship, but even though it was in the bubble, but it was just like, bro, you got a ring. What you? But hey, there's a reason why they got rid of you. Because do you think LeBron would be like, no, 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 keep Kuzma here? But he didn't.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, no,
definitely
that was my
tough.
close. Yeah, but that's my closing thought. He's stealing money.
Yeah, my closing thought is Giannis is here to stay. We need to continue to get younger and more athletic, defensive dogs, real elite shooters, not just these pretend shooters that can make shots in the regular season, but also let's establish some type of identity. Because when you think of the Bucks, what is
Giannis.
our identity? So
Giannis.
Doc, come up with something, or
I mean,
else.
I don't care less about the identity as long as we winning. Because I
But
don't care what
you gotta have something that when you down and out, what can you rely on?
Giannis.
That's that mentality right there. I don't need to do nothing because I know I got Giannis. I
Yeah.
think Doc thought this was gonna be sweet. I thought I think Doc thought, oh, get Giannis and Dame, this gonna be easy.
Oh. Mm-mm.
But it's not easy. You
No.
gotta you gotta figure out how they can play together. You gotta figure out which lineups work. It's not easy just because you got 275 top players.
Yeah.
I think he thought it was gonna be easy.
Uh-uh.
But we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm still a Bucks for life, ride or
Sure.
die. I was with them when they won 15 games in the Bradley Center. I'm just gonna be with them till I die, y'all. I don't,
So,
you know,
so,
it's always fear the deer. It's always Bucks and six. It's
man,
always 414 Cream City.
there
That's that real fan.
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
But thanks for joining me, and make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me your thoughts about the Pacers, Bucks, future of the Bucks, Giannis. Yeah, and peace. Oh, and remember, guys, stay balling.
Stay balling and don't steal money like Kyle Kuzma. Stay balling, not not stealing. Stay balling, don't steal.
He should have dyed his hair blonde. That's probably what did it.
Oh
He
Lord,
probably
Lord.
should have dyed his hair blonde.
He
That's
probably stole the die too. He's stealing die and stealing money.
oh man.
He probably went to the hair salon or the hair store and stole that and stole that blonde mix. He was like,
Um,
"I'm paying for this."
that's funny. But yeah, thanks. Peace.